Okay, welcome back, gang, to part two. This is my second video today. If you want to go check out my first one, I was in a better mood, and I was talking about how I made $233 selling some covered calls on SoFi. And good news, it looks like those are going to expire worthless. We're going to look at those, and we're also going to talk about how your portfolio, like mine, is probably wrecked. Maybe. We'll see. If you like this kind of content, I've been trying to sell some options for some extra income and see if I can make that work. If you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button. But in the middle of my video earlier that I made, we actually saw in real time my portfolio go down. And after recording, I learned that Trump was going over the tariffs. Today was a very weird day because we knew these tariff announcements were coming, yet the market went up pretty dramatically. I was up at the peak 6.7% today, and then back down negative almost 6% in the after hours. So they knew the tariff talks were coming. I don't know if they thought it would be better than what was said was going to happen, but the market didn't take kindly in the after hours. And really, if you are selling options and you have some money on the side that you want to put to use, then you might actually like this reaction. In fact, I'm not totally against it. I said I was in a bad mood. That's partially true, partially just for drama. And I'll tell you why I do like it and why it's a good thing for me, partly because I sold a lot of covered calls on SoFi today. And if you're new to what a covered call is or just need a refresher, I'm getting paid to cap how much I can make with a stock if it surpasses a certain dollar amount. So I sold a bunch of these $13 call options. And if SoFi were to get past $13 by the expiration of this option, which is this Friday, the buyer of this option has the right to say, hey, I want to buy your 100 shares of SoFi at $13, no matter what the price of SoFi is. So if SoFi is $14, if it skyrocketed to 14 for some reason, the buyer of this call can say, sell it to me for $13 a piece, 100 shares, and I have to do it. And I sold 9 of these, and I got paid on average, we can see $10 a piece for this, or 90 bucks. And I sold all of these in this week. And I sold them when SoFi was at a higher price, and I expect tomorrow morning, if we see these prices prevail, that these call options are going to depreciate pretty heavily, which is what we like when we sell call options for income, which is what I'm doing. I want to keep my SoFi shares. I'm selling these call options for income generation. And so did I get lucky? Yes. Did I know SoFi was going to drop this much after hours? No. But we love to see this depreciation because if it expires with SoFi under $13 come Friday, these expire worthless. And I keep the money that I got originally, the $90, and I live my life as I were. And on the other hand, if you have some cash on the side and you're looking to acquire some shares of your favorite companies, you can get paid to say, hey, if the stock falls to this amount and actually goes below it, I'll buy the shares at that amount. And you'll get paid for basically making that insurance policy saying, if you're afraid your shares are going to fall below this level, I'll take them off your hands, but you have to pay me for that assurance. Unfortunately for me, I already had some puts that I sold before. Nvidia right here, for example, I sold this put for a $108 strike. So if Nvidia were to go below 108, which it is after hours, the buyer of this put can sell me their shares at $108 a piece. And because I took on this risk, I got some money called premium for doing so. And in my spreadsheet here, I track all of the premium that I get. We can see I originally sold this call and I made $101, but the strike price was 105. I bumped it up to $108 strike price and made an additional $47. And so now my option is wait until Friday and see if the price of Nvidia recovers and goes above 108. If it is below 108 come Friday, I can let it expire and get these shares assigned to me, or I can roll this position and I can buy back my original put that I sold and pay $131 and look later in expiration dates, so go out till next Friday, look at a different strike price, probably lower than the 108, so maybe 105, and actually make some money rolling that out a week at a lower strike price. So I'll make $25 if I pulled this off right now. So long story short, am I afraid of what these tariffs are going to do to the market? I'm not necessarily afraid, I'm just uncertain, which I usually am. And I think most people are in the same boat. But what I'll do, aside from what you see here on Robinhood, is in my other main portfolio, just keep accumulating index funds, or rather my index fund position. Because when there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of great buying opportunities, and that's where the real money can be made. So of course, I'll keep you guys posted what ends up happening throughout the rest of the week. I hope to see you in a future video, and thanks so much for watching.